Well, look at you all. Welcome to the Adair Family Reunion 2026. My name is Harmon Cutler, and I am your fourth great-grandfather. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you here.
Hello, my family. I am James Robert Adair. I am your seventh grandfather. I am one of your first ancestors to sail to America.
My name is Warren Foote. I'm your third great-grandfather on Mervin's family side. I've waited so long to talk to you. I am cheering you all on in this life. Don't you forget it.
My name is Thomas Adair Sr. I was born in 1771 in Lawrence, South Carolina, and died in 1856 at Charleston, South Carolina. I was 6 years old when the American Revolution began.
My name is Rebecca Brown. I joined the church with many of my family and moved to Nauvoo. I was among the group of the saints who were forced out of Nauvoo, and I witnessed the miracle of quail across the Mississippi.
My name is John Mangum Jr. I was born in Mecklenburg, Virginia, back when it was still British colonial America. At 16, I shouldered a musket and marched with General Morgan and later Francis Marion, the Swamp Fox, through mud, smoke, and fire.
My name is Rebecca Kaneda. I was born in Pennsylvania in 1785. After joining the church, I moved to Nauvoo. I had been there only a week when we were driven out, across the Mississippi in the day.
My name is Robert James Ritchie. I was born in 1772 on a ship riding the Atlantic swells as my parents sailed from Ireland to America.
My name is Rebecca Belton. I was born in South Carolina in 1768. After my dear John passed, I found faith, joined the saints, and left behind the only home I'd ever...
My name is William Wadsworth. I was born in 1797 in Tankersley, Yorkshire. As a lad, I heard the roar of muskets on distant fields while Europe burned with Napoleon's wars.
My name is Hannah Wilkinson. I was born in Halifax, Yorkshire in the year 1800. I learned to weave before I could write my own name, and the looms have been the rhythm of my life ever since.
My name is William Broadbent. I was born in Sheffield in 1783. I marched through the thunder of Napoleon's guns, laboured beneath the wheels of the new machines, and watched neighbours fall in the grip of cold.
My name is Jane France. I was born in Sheffield, Yorkshire, where the air was thick with smoke and ambition. I came of age as mills roared, as Napoleon's wars raged across Europe, and as...
My name is Richard John Keel. I was born in 1786 in the rolling hills of Henry, Virginia. I grew up on hard soil and hopeful sermons. When I joined the church, I gathered...
My name is Nancy Eleanor McCullough. I was born in 1788 in North Carolina. I joined the church, moved to Nauvoo, and when persecution came, I was pushed westward. I crossed the plains, and at last...
I am Jacob Hess. I was born in Franklin County, Pennsylvania in 1792. I raised a large family as we moved to Ohio, then joined the Restored Church of Jesus Christ. We were driven...
I am Elizabeth Fouts. I was born in Pennsylvania in 1797. In 1834, I chose to join the Restored Gospel. Though persecution and constant moves followed, my faith held. I crossed the plains, and when my husband died mid-journey...
My name is Harmon Cutler. I was born in 1799 in the woods of New York. I made my living shaping wheels and wagons. When I found the faith, I followed it to Nauvoo. Some chose another path.
My name is Susanna Bradford Barton. I was born in 1805 in Cobleskill, New York. Granddaughter of Governor William Bradford, though the portrait on our wall always seemed more like a lantern.
My name is John Morton. I was born in 1803 in Ulster, New York. I was only 10 years old during the War of 1812. Some of those battles were fought not too far from where I grew up. I remember the smoke.
My name is Lucy Gillett. I was born in 1804 in Ulster, New York. I watched locomotives shrink the world, and I watched it tear itself apart. I lived to witness the country divided by war.
My name is David Foote Sr. I was born in 1768 in Litchfield in the colony of Connecticut. I was 8 years old the year the Revolution blazed through our land.
My name is Irene Lane. I was born in 1774 in the woods of Hampshire, Massachusetts Bay. My brother George was a preacher.
I am Jacob Myers, husband, father of 15, and a miller by trade. I was baptized later in life and ordained an elder, and I built mills wherever my family and faith carried us, even through...
My name is Sarah Elizabeth Coleman, born in 1788, Nottingham Township, Burlington, New Jersey. I was mother to 15 children. I joined the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and suffered through much of the early persecutions. I am buried in Iowa.
My name is John Cox. I was born in 1787 in the hills of Wiltshire, England. I came of age while the thunder of the Napoleonic Wars shook our fields. For years I wondered if the world held more than mud and marching boots.
My name is Hannah Townsend. I was born in 1792 in the fields of Wiltshire, England. Years later, with my husband and our little girl, I packed what we owned into a wooden trunk, boarded a ship, and sailed more than half the world away. We stepped...
My name is David Sawyer. born in 1781 in Great Bedwin, Wiltshire. I grew up with fields of wheat and quiet church bells and saw them replaced with iron, smoke and the relentless hum of machines. I marched with the army when Europe burned, felt the thunder of cannons.
My name is Elizabeth Smart. I was born in 1785 in the village of Great Bedwin in Wiltshire. Life there was simple. Crops, seasons, the church bell at dawn. I married young, and within a handful of years my arms were full with little ones. 6 children I raised.
My name is Henry Stanley. I was born in 1796 among the stone walls and green dales of Craven, Yorkshire. A carpenter by trade, a wanderer by heart, I set sail for a new life across the world. The ship carried me to the rough-hewn beauty.
Elizabeth Wilkinson. I was born in 1790 in the village of Gisborne, Yorkshire. I grew up among these hills, worked the land, kept a home, and, with a heart full of wonder,
My name is Patrick Madgwick. I was born in 1798 in the village of Fittleworth in Sussex. With my wife, we built a home full of noise and warmth. 10 children, each more different than the last. We raised them through hard winters and...
My name is Jane Strudwick. I was born in West Burton, Sussex in 1800 to Henry Strudwick and Margaret Harrington. In 1819 I married Patrick Madgwick at Arundel. Together we raised at least 4 sons and 6 daughters while the world around us changed. The wars...
I am Samuel Jefferson Adair, born in South Carolina and shaped by faith, loss, and the long road west. After joining the church, I buried my wife, children, and mother along.
My name is Jemima Catherine Mangum. I was born in 1809 in Lebanon, Ohio. I married Samuel Adair, and together we followed our faith from Mississippi to Nauvoo and then west, believing...
My name is William Ritchie. I was born in 1796 in Lawrence, South Carolina, and I married Margaret Ann Adair before I answered the call west. We kept close to other families, trusting counsel, sticking together when camps could not decide a road. Illness dogged me, aching kidneys after night.
My name is Margaret Ann Adair. I was born February 7, 1804 in Lawrence, South Carolina, and I married William Ritchie before answering the call to leave home and walk west with our fellow saints. I learned the old healing ways and tended William's aching body with roots and remedies.
I am George Allen Wadsworth, born March 9, 1827 in Tankersley, Yorkshire. I swung a pick in the mines, buried my dear Alice, and left little James with my uncle and aunt while I searched for light. I found it in the gospel, married Elizabeth Broadbent, and in 56 we boarded the Horizon.
I am Anne Elizabeth Broadbent, born December 19, 1832 in Sheffield, England. I married George Allen Wadsworth in 1853, and not long after, the gospel took root in my heart. In 56, we sailed on the Horizon, and the next year we crossed the plains with a young company.
I am Samuel Keel, born January 21st, 1816 in Bedford County, Tennessee. I heard the gospel as a young man. In 42, I joined the church, went to Nauvoo, served in the Legion, and stood as one of the Prophet Joseph's bodyguards. I helped lift stone for the temple and received my endowment.
I am Anne Elizabeth Hess. I was born March 24, 1829 in Washington Township, Franklin County, Pennsylvania. When I was a child, we moved west to Ohio, then to Missouri, and in 34 we joined the church. We were driven from place to place. I bore many children.
I am Royal James Cutler, born February 1st, 1828 in Amboy, New York. My family joined the Saints and moved to Nauvoo in 40, where I joined the church and went to work. I served in the 70s, and on a mission to New York, I met Theodosia Ann Morton.
I am Theodosia Ann Morton. I was born in Rockland, New York in 1827. At 25, I left that green valley for love and for faith, marrying Royal James Cutler, a missionary with more hope than means. We walked beside our wagon across the plains, past Council Bluffs and...
I am Warren Foote, born August 10th, 1817 in Dryden, New York. As a boy, I studied the Bible and, not long after, the Book of Mormon. I followed my father to Kirtland and then to Missouri and Nauvoo. In 42, I embraced the restored gospel, and the next year wed Artemisia.
I am Artemisia Sidney Myers Foote, born January 24, 1829, in Worthington, Ohio. My parents joined the Saints and carried us to Missouri. As a child, I saw the horror of Hans Mill, yet felt the Spirit and was baptized in 1837. I married Warren Foote in Illinois, knelt with...
I was born in 1816 in the village of Burbage, on lanes damp with moss and fog. As a boy, I crossed the sea with my folks, the world tilting under the sail and salt. They planted us on a lonely run of country in Victoria, wide, sunburnt and strange. There
I am Eliza Sawyer, born in the lanes of Wiltshire in 1824. As a young woman, I left those hedges behind and crossed the world to Australia. There I married, nursed children, and learned the grit of drought and flood. Faith found me in the colonies, and it held me...
I am Henry Leon Stanley, born in the village of Gisborne, Yorkshire, in 1819 to my father, Henry, and my mother, Elizabeth Wilkinson. As a young man, I set my face toward the world and sailed to the colony of Victoria. In Coleraine on the 19th of December, 1855.
I am Margaret Madgwick.
I was born on the 17th of March 1835 in Arundel, Sussex, to Patrick and Jane. As a girl, I crossed the wide world with my family to the raw shores of Victoria. On the 19th of December